Good morning, Imlay City 10th graders. It's really good to see you today. We have a presentation for you that is very important. One thing that's really cool, Brooklyn, can I have your attention please? Thank you. Hey, first off, it's great to see you. There's a camera right here because we're recording this presentation because it's important for our virtual learning students. It's important for you. There's two major topics. First, the topic is EdTech. So here, let me introduce the team first. So this is Mrs. Brenda Weingartz, Mrs. Lisa Spawn, our two counselors, Mrs. Tibbett and Miss Janke. And then over to my right, your left, is Mrs. Dawn Mosier, Miss Izzy Ani, and Mr. Harvey Vermeesh. And so this group of people are going to present to you on two topics. The first topic is EdTech, and then the next topic is the STEM early middle college. And EdTech historically has been around for a long time, and we have a good base of knowing what that is. And it's a great opportunity for all of our students in our school. And then the early college is relatively more new, and I want you to tune into that as well because it's a really cool opportunity that I don't think that as a student body we're taking advantage of as well as we should. So first off, I want you to think about it. Think about this question specifically. What do you want to be when you grow up? Up until now, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, you've had very little choice about the electives that you're going to get, what pathway you're going to choose. As an 11th grader and 12th grader, you have more and more control. And so this is the first step in that opportunity to choose the pathway that you're going to follow. So EdTech is one option that you will have, and on top of that, you will have access to early middle college as well. So pay attention, ask good questions, think about your future. It starts now. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Mrs. Weingartz.
Good morning. Oh wait, we got one more response than we did this morning.
We got to wake up here.
Okay, yeah. Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, there we go. So as you heard, we were invited here this morning by your counselors to talk about an option that you have beginning next year in your junior year. I have heard that your counselors will be headed to your classrooms tomorrow to begin registering for classes next year. And we are one of your options. We are known as the career high school, whatever we like to call ourselves that. So it's an opportunity for you to come out and, as you heard, try on a career. So if you think you know what you might want to do after high school, it's good to come out and see what we have to offer. If you don't know, we also say come out and explore because you can find out sometimes what you do like as well as what you don't like. So just a little bit of what your day would look like if you chose EdTech is you would come out in the AM. Juniors come out typically in the AM session, and you take your class for half a day, which counts for 3 of your electives. So you're there for quite a while. We're primarily hands-on, meaning there is some book work you need to know, but then you apply that book work to whatever career you've chosen to explore out there. So you spend half a day doing that. Your senior year, it's the opposite. You come out in the afternoon. So you'll be, and you'll hear this in the video, you'll be in your home school, which is Imlay City School in the morning. In the senior year, or your second year, I should say, in that program, you'd be out in the PM. And oftentimes you get more independent opportunities in your second year. So I guess we'll go through, we have a video to show you that kind of showcases all of our programs, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that afterwards.
Whenever I'm with my family, the question, what are you going to do after high school, always tends to pop up, or what are you learning in school right now? And I know when that question is coming, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is EdTech, because EdTech is something that I am very, very, very passionate about. I love EdTech so much. I'm so glad that I chose to go to EdTech because it really did change how I saw school and how I saw my future after high school and where I plan to go to college. So when I answer, what am I doing, what am I learning right now, when I tell them about EdTech, I always tell them about how we're doing real world work right now. So I'll tell them about any PDs, professional developments that I have going on, or any paperwork that I'm in the middle of filing, or what I have to do to tell all the other employees what they have to do, stuff like that. But it's not just the business aspect and like the real world experience, it's also meeting a lot new people because EdTech is made up of many different schools. And I came into this class being the only one from my school. So I was really shy at the beginning of the year, but meeting people from different schools kind of forced me to put myself out there, and me not being the most confident person, it was kind of hard at first, but now I have grown to make great relationships with every single person in my class, no matter what personality type they are or what kind of stuff they like to do or how opposite or alike we are. We've grown more as a family than a class, and that's what I really, really love about EdTech.
EdTech is a career center where 5 different schools all come together to study their career. I'm in the marketing and entrepreneurship class.
EdTech is a hands-on school where we learn a trade and you apply those skills in real-life scenarios.
So EdTech to me is a place where everybody can go to find their own little niche, I guess. There's classes for like nursing and health sciences and all that stuff, and then there's also welding and diesel mechanics and small engine repair, and you can all find your spot, I guess.
EdTech is a non-traditional school which is hands-on and gives you college experience
EdTech is a conglomerate of schools all coming together to participate in learning what jobs or what future interests they will be looking forward to in their future lives.
EdTech is a bunch of classes that prepare you for a career that you want to go into. So if you want to go into law enforcement or firefighting, you'd go into public safety. If you want to do something with vehicles, auto mechanics, diesel tech. If you want to do construction, there's a construction class. There's all sorts of different fields.
EdTech is the place where you can learn a lot of things that you normally wouldn't. Coming here, I learn more here in 1 month than I do other places. I mean, there's a lot of things to know, and they cover everything that you need to know, so you are always prepared.
I decided to come to EdTech because regular school doesn't really fit me well. I don't do well with reading things off of a paper and then just knowing them. So when I could hear and be able to do hands-on and work on things that an ability and the idea that I can enjoy it, and when you read something on a paper and then you can pick it up and actually apply what you just read to something that's physical, it helps me memorize it a little bit better, it helps me perform better. And recreational vehicle repair is something that I enjoy. I've been riding four-wheelers since I was 4 years old, so I've always been strapped to some sort of machine. So this was the class for me, and when I heard about it, I knew I just had to go.
You should come to EdTech, but mostly join our program, because if you have a passion for animals or plants, this will set you in the perfect direction, obviously.
You should come to EdTech because it gives you experience towards a career you might want to do in your future, and you get to meet all these new people that go to different schools around you.
The best part of my school day is coming to cosmetology because that's where I am the happiest.
You should come to EdTech because it is so much fun, and it is the best part of my day personally, and it is just an awesome place to be, especially working with the other people. It's just so much fun, and you will love it.
I get paid for coming to school.
You should come to EdTech because there's a whole bunch of opportunities out there that you can learn stuff about. You'll still always have someone at home for you. There will always be people there to support you, but it's always fun to come out and try different things.
You should come to EdTech because it is really fun and it's hands-on rather than, working on a paper.
You should come to EdTech because there's a lot of good stuff we can learn. There's good experience out here. You don't miss a lot from your home school. All it's doing is taking away a couple of your electives from your home school, but you get this big elective here that you can learn a lot more.
You should come to EdTech for the real world possibilities that you might find yourself in. Just staying at your home high school, you won't get as many great experiences as you will here.
You should come to EdTech because it's very, very helpful. Colleges will see it and think it's, especially public safety, they'll think, oh, this is really good. Like, this will help her. This will really bring you to a new mindset.
You should come to EdTech because it's going to give you real life experience. It's going to get you ready for college or whatever career you plan on going into. And it's really going to help you just get the fundamentals of the career that you're going into, so that way you're prepared for your future, and I think it's a great start towards your future.
EdTech is an experience, so try it out. Please and thank you.
So at EdTech we have 19 different programs that you can choose from. And we like to say that we have something for everyone. So if you want to come out there and get the skills, the hands-on experiences, and certifications, you can go right into the workforce and use what you learn on your job. If you're college-bound, we also have programs that will help get you prepared for college, as well as give you kind of a leg up on other students in the career area that you've chosen. Couple things I want to talk about, and then Mrs. Spahn is going to go through our recruiting website, which is also on your postcard there. That will show you in more detail. We're not going to go through all of them, but the programs, you could look more closely at the programs. So one of the things you saw in the video is she said she gets paid to go to EdTech. I am sorry to say we do not pay you. We don't bribe you to come to EdTech. What she's talking about is work-based learning or co-op. So typically in your senior year, once you have some skills, you can be set up with an employer, and instead of going to EdTech a couple days a week, you actually go to work. In many of those cases, you get paid to go to work during your school day. So that's one of them. You saw somebody in there talk about Grandins, so that's another program that is a little bit different. If you want to go into cosmetology, that's not at the EdTech Center. You actually have to drive. We don't have transportation. You have to drive to Grandin's College of Cosmetology, which is in downtown Lapeer. And both first year and second year cosmetology students go in the afternoon. Your hours would be 11:30 to 2 o'clock. And then you would have the choice to get additional hours if you want to work towards your licensing for cosmetology. So just a couple things.
So the other program that's unique is we have health occupations. We actually have two health programs, health occupations and health science. Health occupations is a one-year program, and that's our only one-year program, and that's for students that want to get certified as a CNA, as a certified nurse's assistant. Health science is for students that typically want to go beyond that and are more college bound. So in a second, I'm going to show you that postcard that you have on your table. You can actually go right to the website from your phone, or the website is on there, iamedtech.org. And that was a unique website, an individual website to help promote or recruit students, because this year, unfortunately because of COVID, we're not having the 10th graders come out and visit. So in a typical year, you guys would come to EdTech, you would visit 3 programs, you would get to try it out for a bit and see what it's like. So this is, I guess, the next best thing to that is going to this website that Digital Media created. And you saw the video that touched on all 19 programs. On this website, you'll see there's a 2 to 3 minute video for each program. It gives you a little more insight. And then you can also register to win. We're going to have a drawing. If you go on our website and submit that information, you can win Amazon gift cards, but also we'd encourage you to ask questions you might have about EdTech. So in a minute, we'll give you a time for questions, but if you think of something after this presentation, or you go home and talk to parents about options, or you talk to other students or siblings you may have that go to EdTech and you think of more questions, you can go right to this website and pose those questions and we will email you back pretty promptly. So on this website, you'll see, like I said, there are videos for each program, 2 to 3 minutes, and you saw a lot of these students speak already. There's also, sorry, let me go on right now. Okay. At the top, you could also click on alumni, and you'll learn about, I think there are 6 videos on there of former students that talk about their experience starting out at EdTech and what they're doing now. And one is pretty cool. It's what our teacher for the Power Sports and Equipment, which used to be called RVR, is one of those videos. And then there's a quick, I don't know why it went back to here though. Sorry. It brought up all these other videos. If I go back, will it do it? Okay, so this video I'm going to show you right now, it's just 30 seconds, it's a real quick one, and this one was actually created, like we said, by Digital Media Arts, and Gavin from Dryden is the voiceover on this, so I'll show you this one real quick.
So, you're in high school, but sooner than later, you'll need to think about what's next. What are you going to do? Who are you going to be? And how will you make that happen? Right now, you go to school. You have books and teachers who are preparing you for the next step. But what if you could see that in a different way? What if you could try on a career? What if you could get your hands on the possibilities? Welcome to Lapeer County Education and Technology Center. We're giving students in Lapeer County hands-on education, taught by instructors who have worked in the industry. 19 different classes, like automotive, culinary, information technology, digital media, public safety, health, cosmetology, welding, and more. Earn certifications, find opportunities to get college credits, and make your dream career become a reality. Make your day at school anything but typical. Check out our classes below, then talk to your high school counselor to find out your perfect fit at Lapeer County Education and Technology Center. But before you go, don't forget to fill out the form for your chance to win.
Okay, so I think too, one of the neat things about our building is I was talking to Mrs. Weingartz about, we're meeting with seniors right now to make sure, or help them, have a plan for after graduation because it's coming up pretty quickly for them. So I think the pretty cool thing or unique thing about our building is we really find out, especially in talking to seniors, what a wide range of students we get in our building. So we get students that are going to go right to work after they graduate. So they typically or hopefully have gained some certifications. So when they start out in the workforce, they're going to have a leg up or make more money than somebody that did not have that certification. But then we also have students that are going to go to community college, to tech and trade schools, to apprenticeships, on to universities. We have students that get full rides that go to U of M Ann Arbor. So I think the really neat and exciting thing in our building is we get such a wide range of students, and it's really cool to see those students come in as juniors and sometimes not even knowing what they want to do, or sometimes a counselor or a teacher saying, hey, you're going to EdTech, and they're like, I have no idea why I'm here, like they're making me come. And they end up loving it and gaining confidence and figuring out what they want to do. So it's a pretty cool place to be. Do you want to add anything? Okay. Are there questions? All right. If you think of questions, you can go to that website and fill your questions in there. Or let your counselors know they can contact us. And if there's no questions, at this time I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Mosier and Mr. Vermeesh about the early college. Thank you very much. You guys are a great audience too.
Good morning, everybody. I want to talk briefly about the EdTech. I used to be an employee out there, and folks, those programs are outstanding. I know they've gotten even better since I was there, so I'd highly encourage you to take a serious look at the programs out there. Keep in mind that, I think your counselor will probably remind you of this, but Emily City's allotted so many slots in each one of those programs, so if you want one, don't procrastinate and let your counselors know you want it, so that they can get you in, schedule into it. What we want to do is present to you another option. As Mr. Eddy indicated to you, you have a lot of things in front of you for next fall to decide to do. And that is an early college program. So what is an early college? Early college is a partnership between high schools and colleges. And it gives you an opportunity to jumpstart your future. And what I mean that is to start getting some work done towards a college degree while you're in high school. Kind of like dual enrollment, but this is a little more advanced, a little more, at the end of it, you have the opportunity to get a lot more credits you would in a traditional dual enrollment. So with that, an early college services students in grades 11, 12, and then we have what we call the 5th year option. It simply means is that you say, I want to stay in high school one more year, not this high school, just as a high school student. And Emily City then will pay for this college not only as your junior, but also your senior, and plus an additional full year of college. And we have a student here that can explain how that worked for her. So what we have is that at that grade 13 or that 5th year, after grade 12, you will still walk with your graduating class. You'll still cap and gown, open house, all that kind of stuff. You won't know the difference. Outside of when you go off to college, you'll be in one of our partners and it'll be free. It's like a scholarship, okay? So it's simply an opportunity to earn some college credits while you're in high school. There's our 4 partners. We have Baker, Macomb, Mott, and Rochester University. When you come out, if you choose this option, you'll have Baker as a junior. If you're in CTE, we're going to show you a model how you can go out and do the EdTech programs and early college. You'll have Baker as a junior and a senior, and then in that 5th year you can go to any one of the 4. There's the 2 models, one we call traditional and one we call CTE blend. Probably the right terminology for you would be VOTech blend. You're blending your VOTech experience. The programs out there are called current technical education. That's why we do the CTE abbreviation. They both will end up with you having a substantial number of college credits at the end. I want to talk about this model a little bit more. If you go to one of the programs you just seen, one of those 19, typically every one has some element of a post-secondary before you can be, what I would say, employed to make a good living. Now, apprenticeships might be that option, like you already heard. It might be something at community college, you get an associate degree or a certificate, or moving into a bachelor's degree. So with that, we're having the opportunity for you folks to start working on that college piece while you're in the CT program. Here's what it would look like. As a junior, you would go up to the EdTech for your EdTech program, and then you would end up taking 3 Baker College classes along with the EdTech, and you'd end up with 9 college credits. Now this credit thing, I think that's going to get explained more to you when your counselors come around, but typical one class in college is of 3 credits, and you'll need 120 to get a bachelor's and so forth. We'll show you that in another slide. Senior year, as a CTE or EdTech student, you would take another 3 classes for 9 more credits. You're going to stay for the 5th year, not here. Mr. Eddie doesn't want you to wander around here. You'll be at one of our 4 campuses, taking college credits just like your classmates that didn't do it the early college. You'd be off going on to college. And you'll get an additional 24 credits by taking at least 8 classes. Now, that's minimal. You might get more. And then if you're in a college or a EdTech program, most of those already have agreements with colleges called articulation agreements. And that simply means that the work you're doing in welding or the work you're doing in health doc or the work you're doing in iTech, INET, I think they call it, is equal to college work. And if you get a certain grade point average, then the college will say, okay, there's no sense of you duplicating that. We'll give you college credit for that. So you'll get our 42 plus those. That's getting real close to the associate degree. Okay? So here's what your day would look like if you do EdTech and the early college. You come to Emily City in the morning, you get on a bus, go out to the EdTech Center, do CT for about a 3-hour block. When all the other students are leaving the EdTech, when that bell rings out there, you stay and you go down the hallway to a Baker class. And then when the Emily City bus comes and drops off the PM students that go out to EdTech, you get on that bus and come back. I think Mr. Eddie will have a lunch for you. I don't know how you work that out, but whatever. I know there's a lunch involved someplace. And you'll take a couple of Emily City classes. As a senior, it's reversed. You take a couple of Emily City classes, You come out on that bus that's coming out to pick up the AM students. You go down the hallway and take a Baker class. When that's over with, then you go into your CT program. So juniors and seniors will be taking Baker classes at the same time block out at EdTech. Okay? And now for the traditional, I'm going to turn this over. Ms. Mosier is our student advisor. She is the person that, if you join the early college, you'll see on a regular basis. She does our seminar for us, so she's going to talk about the traditional model.
All right, so the traditional model is another option for you. If you're not going to be a career and technical education student, you can still join the early college in the traditional model. In the traditional model, you'll take 6 Baker College classes in your junior year, and you'll earn 18 college credits. 18 college credits in your junior year of high school. In your senior year, you'll take an additional 6 college classes through Rochester University, also in the building, and earn another 19 college credits. Then you have the opportunity to stay for the 5th year, take a minimum of 4 college classes per semester, and earn an additional 24 college credits. That's about 61 college credits. I don't know about you folks, but when we did some of the math on this for another student that is now often in their career, the amount of money that they saved just by participating in the early college was a little more than $28,000. So if you have $28,000 in your bank account right now, raise your hand. Not a one. Okay. All right. So a day in the life of a traditional student. As a junior, you'll come in to your high school. You'll take your local high school classes in your first 3 hours. You'll jump on a bus and you'll head over to the EdTech Center and take Baker classes for the last 2 hours. In your senior year, it's very similar as the blend where it just flips a little bit. You'll come to your building, get on a bus, head out to EdTech, take 3 hours of Rochester University College classes, and then come back and take your high school classes at Imlay City. If you stay for the 5th year, and this is an unusual situation for early college, a lot of early colleges force you to stay for that 5th year. However, Imlay City Early College allows you that if you want to leave after your senior year, you have the opportunity to do that. Now, I would recommend that unless you have a full scholarship going off to University of Michigan or Grand Valley State University, that you participate in the 5th year and earn the college credits for free. All the classes in your 5th year will be at one of the online or one of the campuses of our 4 partners, or in some instances, like right now with COVID, they are being taught online. So the 4 partners again is Baker College, Macomb Community College, Mott Community College, and Rochester University, and you choose that based upon the program that you want to go into. And then you'll work on your specific program of study.
You want to elaborate a little bit? Like Mott has several campuses, Rochester University has several campuses.
Sure. Right now, Baker College closed their campus in Flint, so the main college that our students attend for Baker is out in Owasso. Macomb Community College has a central location, and is it called South location? That you can attend one of those 2 depending on the program that you're at. Mott Community College is in Flint, and then Rochester University has, is right down in Rochester, is it Rochester Hills? Yeah, Rochester Hills, okay. So I don't know how much of this you guys know, so I'm just gonna cover it really quick because there's different steps that you can get involved in. If you want to earn a certificate, it's about 30 credits, a little bit more. For an associate's degree, it's about 62 credits or more. A bachelor's degree is minimally 120 credits. And then, of course, you can move on to a master's degree or a doctorate. In early college, you can earn 60 plus credits in the traditional model or 40 plus credits in the blend model. A couple of things I want to just touch base with you on for some misconceptions that we hear along the way. You are able to walk with your graduating class. I attended multiple open houses last summer for students that were getting ready to go into the 5th year. Your diploma will have that 5th year date on it, so it'll be the spring of your 5th year. All of the tuition, books, and fees like parking fees, technology fees, all of that kind of thing is covered by the early college. It doesn't cost you a cent. And then it's dual credit for college classes. And this is the one thing that I think gets a little bit overlooked sometimes. So what that means is that if you're earning a college English composition credit, you're not having to take English comp at your high school, okay, in your junior or senior year. Or if you need a government class, you know, that might count as a college credit in the early college that you're getting for us. So it serves as two purposes. The college credit that you'll earn will serve as your high school credit as well. You are still able to play sports, and Izzy's going to touch base on that a little bit because she was pretty active in her high school career. You're still able to play sports. You're still able to participate in extracurricular activities, except for your 5th year. So you can't play football in your 5th year for your high school, right? We like to look at it as an academic scholarship program. Just by simply you committing and saying yes to it provides you a savings for jumpstarting your future. And one of the things, so I teach the seminar class, which is on Wednesdays, which gives you a nice break in the middle of the week. And we do a lot of surveying of students to kind of figure out what parts of the early college that have been most beneficial to them. And one of the things that we hear time and time again is the skills that they learn in seminar. You might have heard of it as employability skills or soft skills, life skills, those types of things. And what that means is that in seminar, we prepare you to be a college student. We help you transition from a high school student to a college student because it can be really daunting or overwhelming for a high school student to come in and take college classes. We are aware of that. We know that. In fact, I always say to students that about 6 weeks in, as a junior student in the early college, you come to my office and I want to drop, Ms. Mosher, I want to drop. And I'm like, okay, calm down. Let's take a breath, right? The time management skills that you learn in itself are significant in the seminar class. And then there are other skills that you'll learn. These things like how to even communicate with a professor. If you have a grade that you just don't agree with, there's a way that you can communicate with a professor to get a better understanding of how that professor grades, or perhaps, you know, everybody makes mistakes. Perhaps that professor overlooked something. So it gives you the skills to learn how to communicate with them. And then it also, we have covered a lot of things, and Izzy is going to talk about that a little bit. We've covered a lot of things, debating. We've done debates in class. Study skills, especially for students who, right now in high school, how many of you feel like you can pass a test without studying? Yeah, so what happens with that is that you haven't learned the study skills because you haven't needed to use them, right? College is very different. You have to know how to use those skills. So for those of you who have never really needed to study, you're going to learn how to do that in the early college. Because when you get on campus, we want you to be as prepared and as successful as you can possibly be. So I'm going to turn this over to Izzy Ani. She is a graduate from Imlay City High School. Well, kind of. She's in her 5th year right now of the early college, attending Rochester University. And I'll have her talk about some of the things that we did to help with time management and career exploration and what the cohort was like prior to you being part of the early college.
Hi, my name is Izzioni, and I'm in the 13th year of the STEM program. And through the STEM program, I was able to earn and graduate with 33 college credits. And I'm now able to earn my associate's degree a year early, this year. So, in the STEM program, you're not only furthering your education with college, but you're also learning very valuable life lesson skills, such as time management and career exploration. So, for those of you who may know me, I did not know what I wanted to do after graduation at all. So what the STEM program really helped me do, specifically in the seminars held on Wednesday, was narrow down what I liked and what I wanted to do. And in the end, I was able to decide what my future was going to be like. So another big thing that we do is learn about time management. So before learning about time management, I was all over the place, but I still managed to get my work done. But after learning these skills, I was able to work 2 jobs, play varsity basketball, do extracurriculars at school, like student council, and get a high GPA, along with maintaining a social life. Without these skills that I learned, I would have been so stressed. I probably would have not done STEM, but because of learning these things, I was able to successfully earn and graduate with these college credits. So all in all, I think the STEM program is just a wonderful opportunity that people should take advantage of, because you are not going to find another program like this. You are able to earn free college credits and earn your associate's degree. And if you still want to do an EdTech program, there is an option for a blend, so you can do both. So just take advantage of your opportunities, because this is a great one.
Izzy, talk a little bit about the class atmosphere when you first came into the early college and what it was like when you left.
Oh, yeah. So in our class, we had a mix with Emily City and North Branch kids. So we had, even the Emily City kids, we knew each other, but we weren't that close. And with the North Branch students, we had no idea who they were. And in the beginning, it was very segregated, you could say. Like the North Branch people would stay on one side and the Emily City people would stay on the other. But in the end, we all bonded and we became one big family. We worked together on projects, we debated with each other. We just had a great time. And we really grew to like each other a lot. And it was just a great opportunity. Because you aren't just meeting the people here in your high school, you're meeting people from other districts as well. So it really helps expand your friendships, I guess, yeah.
So it's kind of funny because even though in the 5th year they all kind of go to their prospective post-secondary or their college that they want to attend, I know that they still stay in touch. They still talk to each other, they Snapchat, they're still actually a very big family. So it's kind of a neat experience to watch, as the advisor, to watch them come into the room and one school sit on one side and the other school sit on the other side, and then by the end of the 12th year, seeing them really just commingling and really talking to each other and learning to understand what the other school is doing. And it kind of drops the Emily City, North Branch, and brings them all together as one. It's kind of it's really exciting to see. I know CTE does that as well in the Career Technical Education program. When you have all of those schools coming together, you're learning from students that are in different schools, different high schools, and they become a family in those classes. And that really, when you leave here, those are the people that you're going to be in touch with as you grow older and go into your career. Is there any questions about the early college? One question. Anybody have one question? Ms. Tibbet.
So I finished my 13th year, and say I want to go to U of M or Saginaw Valley or Grand Valley, do all my credits transfer with me?
Yes, they do. So it's one of the things that people really kind of are not understanding of how credits transfer. It is always based upon the receiving school. So if you are an early college student and you finish your 13th year at Rochester University, but now you want to move on to, say, Eastern, right, Eastern Michigan, you look at Eastern Michigan University, they have, on college's website, they have a transfer equivalency tool, and you pull up the classes that you took through the early college, and you match them with the classes that you took at that, or that you have needing to take at that college. And it's kind of like a checkbox. So let's say you take English Comp through the early college, and you need an English Comp class at Eastern to pursue a health science career. That's a checkbox. You've already taken that comp class, you don't have to retake it. Michigan has what's called a Michigan Transfer Agreement, and that allows you to just kind of have all the colleges come together and talk about all the credits that transfer. The only thing is that it may look like an English Comp 1010 class through the early college through, let's say, Baker College. At Eastern, it may just say Comp 1120, right? So it's the same class, just different numbers. That's why it's important that you look at that transfer equivalency tool at the receiving college. And if you have a problem, you always call the registrar's office at that college and say, I'm an early college student. This is the classes that I've taken. Here's my transcript. How does that fit into the pathway that I'm looking at coming into Eastern? So I know we have a couple of students, actually a North Branch student and a Emily City student, Emma Waddy, that went up to Northern. They left after their senior year of the early college, and all of their credits transferred up to Northern University, and they are currently in their 13th year, 14th year, 14th year of their college career. Questions on that? How many of you want to be an early college student? Woo woo! All right. Thanks, guys. Did you have anything?
All right, so if you don't have any other questions, you guys can quietly head back to your second hour. Thank you.
I know. I want to come back.
I do have what I was going to do.